So, we are back in Premier League action on Sunday afternoon against Crystal Palace. This is obviously the reaction to Unai Emery's press conference for the game and after the Napoli game, which we won last night. Go and check out my player ratings. That is in the previous video to this one. The last video I done was the Napoli player ratings. So yeah, go and check that out. Go and have a look on that. Leave your player ratings in the comments section on that video as well. Don't forget, stick a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe if you're new as well. Closing in on that 10,000 subscriber milestone, which is mad considering this channel's been going less than 6 months. So big up everyone who's taken part so far. I really appreciate it. But obviously we won the game against Napoli. Quite comfortable, very comfortable in fact. More comfortable than I think we all imagined. I thought personally we'd beat them. I thought we'd beat them quite easily over 2 legs, but I didn't expect us to beat them how we did, with them putting up next to no fight. You know, they've got a good manager. Their manager was somebody I wanted to take over at Arsenal. He was my #1 pick. But after seeing the way his team went on over 2 legs against us, he looked quite clueless standing on the touchline, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I'm over the moon that we've got Unai Emery as the manager. But yeah, onto the press conference itself. He was asked, Emery, if that was his best performance, Arsenal's best performance this season as with him in charge. His reply to that was, I don't know if it was our best performance, but it was a very good victory after our victory against Watford on Monday. Also, keeping a clean sheet over 2 legs against one of the biggest teams in Italy was never going to be easy. We need to show the same consistency going forward. And he also paid tribute to the 1,100 travelling away fans that went out to Naples yesterday as well. So big up our manager for that. You know, we've now got a manager that actually rates the fans rather than saying we're part of the problem. So big up Unai Emery on that one. He was asked about the latest news on Aaron Ramsey. Obviously, we all see last night that he went off. It didn't look good, if I'm being honest. Personally, I don't think that we're going to see him again this season, which would be a shame because he's played quite well recently. So yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully he gets back to full fitness and can play a part in the end of the season. But even Unai Emery said he doesn't know. He don't know how long he's going to be out for. He doesn't know how bad the injury was. So I suppose, you know, there's reports going around today that it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks. But I'm not convinced by that. I genuinely think it's going to be a lot longer than that. But we shall see. He was then asked about how important the Europa League is. He said, well, now that you get a Champions League spot, it has become very important to a lot of teams. For me and for the club, it is also important, just as important as the Premier League. Well, we all know that he's the Europa League expert. We all know that he's won it 3 in a row, which will probably never be done again, if I'm being honest. And we've got to a semi-final. We've been in it twice, and we've got to semi-final twice. So fair play, because this ain't even a great squad in my opinion. There's so many players here that are dead wood that we could just get rid of and I wouldn't bat an eyelid over it. But fair play, you know, the previous managers got us to a semi, but unfortunately that season, last season, we come up against the best team in it, one of the best teams in Europe last season. So that was always going to be difficult. Although saying that, we should have won it last year as well. You know, we battered them at the Emirates, but obviously it wasn't to be. But this year we've got another Spanish side, again, another decent Spanish side, not as good as Atletico Madrid in my opinion. They are a decent team, but I think we should be able to get through that 2-legged affair, and I think we should be in the final. Whether we get Chelsea or Eintracht Frankfurt, who knows, but I'll be absolutely shocked and amazed if we don't beat Valencia over 2 legs, and especially with the first leg being at home. All we've got to do is just defend like we did against Napoli for 2 legs, keep a clean sheet, most importantly, in the home game, and make sure we rack up some goals. 2 or 3 goals, I think, will see us through. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But on to Crystal Palace. He was asked about the Palace game and how do you approach it? What would your approach be for the game? Maybe we are going to rotate the players. They put a big physical effort in, and it's not going to be easy. But 3 points are very important to us in the league, and we must have high physicality level and high energy levels. I'm not liking the sound of this because there's reports coming out today as well. Obviously, we see Aaron Ramsey go off yesterday. Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira are both doubts for this game, which means that we could be going with a midfield of El Neni, Guendouzi and Mesut Ozil against Crystal Palace. Don't quite know how I feel about that one, if I'm being honest. But I suppose we will see on Sunday afternoon when the teams are announced. But I just think that, just coming back to the Europa League for now, I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans mug this competition off this season and last season. I've also seen a lot of people, people saying that this competition is below us and we should be in the Champions League. Let me know in the comment section down there what you guys think, because personally, I think this is our level. I think that getting battered 5-1 against Bayern Munich 3 straight seasons, losing to Barcelona year in, year out. Yes, I know we've got a better manager now tactically, a younger manager. He's got better game plans and methods and game management, etc., etc. I get that, right? But for me, if we went up against a Barcelona, for example, we're still going to get battered. Let's have that right. We're still going to get taken apart. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think that I've actually quite enjoyed the Europa League. The fact that we have a chance to win it both times we've been in it, and we've got to the semis both times we've been in it, I'm enjoying that. And if we win 5 Europa Leagues in a row, I'd take that over getting to 5 quarterfinals in a row in the Champions League. Because let's be real, even if we get Champions League this season, for next season, we ain't going to win it. So what does it mean to us fans? Like, oh, let's just say we're in it so we can laugh at teams that ain't in it. Because that ain't me. Unless you're going in it to try and win it, what is the point in being in it? We wasted 15, 20 years being in it to get to one final, which we should have won. We didn't. But that's history now, I suppose. But anyway, enough of the Europa League. Let's go on to the Palace game. My preview for that will be out tomorrow evening. But that was basically all I could take out of Unai Emery's press conference. So I'm just going to waffle a little bit about Palace. Palace are a weird team. Weird team. Their goalkeeper, I've seen today, Roy Hodgson, saying that he wants to learn about Nazi Germany and this. What? He done some Nazi salute in Max Meyer's, I think it was, Instagram picture, which he's then been vindicated for. He's got in a bit of trouble over it. He's then said that he didn't know anything about Adolf Hitler. Come on, mate. They teach it in school, mate. Seriously, they teach it in school. So for him to sit there ignorant to the fact of what it means is just disgusting, right? But enough of him. Let's go on to their superstar player, which is Wilfried Zaha. For me, I see a player that's just a show pony. I don't get the hype around this geezer. I never have. I never will. Just because he does a couple of step overs and falls over and gets penalties, people seem to rate him. Yeah, he don't score enough goals, he don't create enough goals, and he definitely ain't worth 60 million quid. He ain't worth 100 odd grand a week. For me, there is better players out there that we could go and buy. But he always turns up against Arsenal, so that's going to be quite worrying. We're going to have to stop him. Andros Townsend's another one that can score an absolute worldie out of nothing. And let's be real here, we've got fantastic home form. But they went to Man City and they beat Man City, and they beat them quite easy that day as well. And I know City had lost a couple of games. I think they'd lost to Leicester and Chelsea, or I think it was Leicester actually, not Chelsea. But yeah, they still beat Man City, and Man City are better than us. So we're going to have to be on our toes for this game. It's not going to be easy. And I think that, if we can stop Zaha, which I think we will, I think we'll have a little game plan for him. We'll remember the game down at their ground, where he won a couple of penalties, I think it was. One of them he dived. And we didn't win the game in the end. It ended up being a draw, I think. So yeah, if we can stop him, and I think we'll have a plan for that this time round. Just stick 2 players on him, man mark him, do whatever you've got to do. And if we can do that, we win the game, because our home form is superb. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get promoted, or promoted up the table, should I say, in terms of Europa League spots and places like that. So they're probably already thinking about going on holiday. So I don't think they're going to turn up. I think we beat them quite comfortably, if I'm being honest. But I suppose we will see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I could take out of Emery's press conference. I'm kind of worried about the fact that he's saying we're going to rotate. I would not be rotating one little bit. If it means that Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira are doubts, then yeah, we've got no choice. But I don't want to see El Neni play. I don't want to see him on the pitch from the start. He's the perfect man to come on with 20 minutes to go when you're 2-0 up. Just keep it simple, pass sideways and backwards. But I don't want to be seeing that from the get-go. So I suppose we'll see. We'll see on Sunday. Like I said, my preview for the game will be out tomorrow evening. I'll probably drop that around 9 o'clock in the evening. And then I'll be going to the game on Sunday, so my review will be out after the game on Sunday evening. So don't forget, stick a thumbs up, share the content around, and yeah, until tomorrow, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.